Crew advancement available. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the tower in the lower right-hand corner of the screen will open up the crew advancement menu. When this icon is highlighted, one or more of your companions is eligible to learn a new combat skill. Whoa! Okay. I'm gonna go sniper specialist. Meltdown, electrocore, blade specialist. Yeah, no. Dietrich's electrocore spell now ships 1 armor from affected targets. Yeah, let's do blade specialist. Firepower. And you have nothing. Okay. Yeah. Cool. That's a really nice little mechanic actually. I like that. I like that a lot. That's really neat. Let's talk to everybody before we go back to the No, nothing new. What about Lane? The old troll putters around, his artificial joints complaining loudly. He seems heavier today than when you first met, and he takes your approach as reason to seat himself and rest. I understand they put you in charge of Monica's outfit. A word travels fast around here. Hell, an old man farts and the kids across town will complain of it. You need something from me? How are people handling the loss of Monica? I think most are still in shock, but just you wait. That'll pass, and then the panic sets in. Few folks have any real discipline around here. Monica kept them calm by keeping them safe. Now that she's gone, they're going to start realizing what a heap of misery this blasted city can be. And what about you? How are you feeling? Exhausted by the prospect of change. Damned F state. Really doesn't matter that much to me, but to the rest, it's going to be a different story. Monica kept this place in one piece. She read the flux like a bird reads the wind, or a fish reads the current. Without her, there's no telling what's going to happen. Anything else you want to jaw about? I'd like to hear a little more about you. Let me guess. You want to know how I lost my legs? If you're offering. Might as well hear it from me than one of the addle-brained kids running about. Lost the legs during the first Euro War, if you must know, and a bombing. Now you need something else from me? Nope. Didn't mean to bomb you. Didn't mean to bother you. Sorry. Didn't mean to bomb you. What's this? Was this here before? Wayne Killer. Who? Lucky Strike! A young woman stands at the bar, smoking a cigarette. You've seen her face before. Lucky Strike, one of the mercenaries from Monica's files. A plume of blue-gray smoke spills from the corner of her mouth as she turns her attention to you. Whoa, you're fucking cool. Hey, the distinctive circuit pattern tattoos that line her face shimmer and pulse with light. You need something? I don't believe we've met. I'm Meowlissa. Yeah, I know who you are. She takes a drag on her cigarette. How you holding up, chap? I heard what happened to your boss. She had a name, you know? Sure, she had a lot of things. Control of this entire Kia's, for one. Can't say that I was a fan. That's your prerogative, but then you didn't really know her. That's true, but I do have eyes, and I can see what's been happening to the cruise bazaar since she got geeked. Whole place is falling apart, isn't it? And why do you think that is? Monica helped a lot of people. Now that she's gone, she can't anymore. Simple. The illustrious Frau Schaefer helped people, alright. She helped them so much that they couldn't make things work without her anymore. She made herself into a leader here, and guess what? In an anarchist system, there aren't supposed to be any leaders. Lucky Strike taps out her cigarette and leans toward you, a predatory grin on her face. You and your friends, you followed Monica too, obeyed her orders without question, right? Not without question. There were debates. And at the end of those debates, Monica would put her foot down and you'd wind up doing whatever she said, right? She smirks at you. Don't bother answering. It was a rhetorical question. For such a rabid anarchist, your friends seemed awfully comfortable being in power. Kind of a contradiction in terms, don't you think? Yeah, actually, all of your points are valid. She blinks. Huh, I've got to admit, I wasn't expecting that. She was your friend, after all, and you're following right along in her footsteps. I don't put my friends on pedestals. Monica made mistakes, just like the rest of us do. But then, why did you step into her shoes? Why are you making all the same decisions that she did? I I'm not, but you're looking at this from the outside. You can't see the big picture. There was a long pause. Finally, she shrugs. Fair enough, I suppose, but a word of advice. Don't take too much on yourself. Spread the responsibility around. Good of you to care. She turns away. I don't, but in a place like this, stacking too much power on any one person is dangerous. Not just for that person, but for everybody. The last thing that we need is for you to eat a bullet and for this whole place to fall apart again. That's completely fair. That is a fair concern to have. Is she all that there is to this place? Alrighty. Maybe this ends up being a little bit more significant later. Maybe Paul will send us over here. The phone booth, right. They said they wanted something? No. Okay. They did want something, but... Oh, let's go talk to the kid. He was down here, right? Because Monica checked in on everybody after every run, so I should probably do the same. Hey, well, there's Cammy. Cammy? Whatever. Oh, the kid's gone. She tips an invisible hat. Hey there, remember me from the cafe? Name's Kami. Are you looking for something? Well, who you are, for one thing. I'm Altug's ears and hands outside of the cafe. Call me Kami. I wear a couple hats, a barista, a gopher, keep my eyes and ears open. Let's just say I get on by trading stories. So I can count on you to hear what's going on? Like I said, only if you've got something juicy for me, or if Altug wants me to tell you something, but that's rare. And maybe his ears and hands, but he's got enough of a voice all by himself. He doesn't seem to be afraid to use it either. Not in the slightest. Since you've just moved here, I have some advice. If you haven't guessed already, he's got fingers in a lot of pies. I've seen what happens when he doesn't approve of someone or something. Pissing him off can't be worth it. At the very least, you won't be able to get good coffee in this town again. So what's the story between you and Altug? She grins and winks lasciviously at you. Oh, surely you've guessed. That lucky bastard. She chuffs loudly. You wish. If you're really curious, though, I'll tell you all about it sometime. Right now, though, I have some errands to run. Come over sometime and we can chat over hookah or something, yeah? She lazily tips an invisible hat at you before turning her focus to her calm wrist. Okay, cool. She seems neat. What was this guy again? Did he sell weapons? Or was he just a guy? Oh, it's a lady. I keep forgetting. Welcome back. What can I do for you? I acquired this drone. Can you get it up and running again? Yeah, probably. It might take a bit of doing though. I love working on these old core drones. Can't make any guarantees, but either way, it's on the house. I'll leave it in your hands. Okay. Good. Let's take a little peek into the safe house. Alright, let's chat with Blitz a little bit. He might be bad news, I'm not sure. But I did need a decker, so... Blitz looks up at your approach. The table beside him is littered with cigarette butts, and a data jack cable dangles from a portable terminal set up by his side. Hey, Chief, you need something? Now that you're all settled in, I've got some questions for you. Blitz glances wistfully back at the terminal on the table, then turns back with a sigh of resignation. I suppose, but try to keep it short, okay, Chief? I've got things to do. How long were you in Dragonfall? I ended up there after the anarchist revolution of 39. I was just a kid back then, too young to realize how good I was, how much money I could have made working the shadows. He shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. And so, being young and dumb, I fell in with the gang crowd, and that was that. You were a member of a drug gang. Why should I trust you? Why wouldn't you, Chief? I mean, just look at me. He does his best to give you a winning smile. I'm a trustworthy guy. Prove it. Tell me about the gang that you ran with. Well, I don't know all that much, Chief. I wasn't a member of the gang leadership or anything. Not really sure why you care either. Consider it a test. I need to know where your loyalties lie. He rolls his eyes. If that's what it'll take for you to trust me, fine. Anything for you, Chief. Well, where to begin? When I first arrived at Dragonfall, I spent some time taking in the lay of the land. The Schwarzherzen were still a pretty small gang, strictly street level, but I could see they were going places. I did a little pro bono decking for their leader, a fat little dwarf named Dieter. Soon enough, I was a part of the family. For a drug gang, the Schwarzherzen were decent enough folks. I made a lot of money with them, helped them take the hotel in the first place. We had a lot of good years there. Then Dieter was killed in a firefight, and our happy little family fell apart. Was that when the hotel got attacked? Blitz takes a deep breath, shifts his weight from one foot to another. Not exactly. The Schwarzhausen maintained their hold on Dragonkip, but the change of leadership was bad news for me. After Dieter kicked the bucket, his second-in-command took over. She was a real piece of work, called herself Leonie Luster. She had a vicious streak a mile long, and she was none too fond of me. I can't imagine why not. I know! What's not to like? Maybe she felt threatened by my friendship with Dieter back before he ate that bullet. Or maybe she was just jealous of my rugged good looks. Who the hell knows? The point is, she went after me, vigorously. Within 24 hours of Dieter's death, I had a price in my head, and then the hotel got taken over. So that's what you need to know about the Schwarzhausen. They were a great gang, powerful gang. I helped to make them that way. Then they had a management turnover, and everything went to hell. Blitz rocks back on his feet, his hands in his pockets. That's it. End of story. Anything else you want to talk about? Wait a second. That isn't it. There are some pretty big holes in that story. Come on, Chief. This is all ancient history. Wouldn't you rather talk about the future? The runs we're going to go on, all the money we're going to make. Blitz, tell me what happened between Luster putting the price on your head and the hotel getting attacked. Alright, Chief. Fine. If that's what it'll take to make you happy. So I was in a bind, right? The members of the Schwarzhausen who were loyal to Luster were all out for my blood, and none of the others were going to stick their necks out for me. The advantage of being a ganger is protection in numbers. When those numbers turn against you, you've got to get creative if you want to stay alive. What did you do? Blitz taps the plastic of his data jack. What I had to. Luster had declared war on me, so I retaliated, and I won. All without ever firing a shot. That's not an answer. I think you can insinuate. You won't be satisfied till I spell it out, will you? Okay, fine. I hacked into Luster's computer and sent all of her information to a rival organization. Remember Frank from the hotel? He was my liaison. They hit the Schwarzhausen and they hit him hard. Then they took the hotel, and then they took me. I'll admit that the plan backfired a little. You did what you had to do. In your place, I'd probably have done the same. Blitz lets out a sigh of relief. Thanks, Chief. I knew you'd understand. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to what I was doing. He gives you a lazy salute. We'll talk later, I'm sure. And Chief, I'm glad to be a member of the team. Hey, cool. He seems slightly shady, but solid nonetheless. Hey, Dante. You look down to see a pair of bright eyes set into a scruffy face looking back at you. Dante, Monica's old dog. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. On some instinctive level, he must know that his master is gone. Dante lets out a small whine, then rubs his head against your leg. Pet him. Yay, I pet the dog. You can pet the dog in Shadowrun Dragonfall. Hey, boss. Dietrich gives you a slight nod. What can I do for you? Any thoughts about the last one that you like to share? Well, we found Winters. That's something, I guess. This whole thing has me feeling uneasy, boss, but at least we have a direction to look in. How are you holding up? You seem to take Monica's death harder than the others. Dietrich shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. Nah, no harder. But I'm less buttoned up than the others are. E-girl never let herself show any weakness, and Glory, well, she's too full of chrome to feel much of anything. He shrugs. Me? I don't give a damn. I've spent too much of my life putting on a show for others already. I used to front a punk band way back when. Believe it or not, I've spent a pretty good chunk of my life on stage. Whenever we weren't playing, I was living up to our fans' expectations. Spouting off, getting into fights, getting drunk, getting laid. Not a bad life, all things considered. What was your band called? Maybe I've heard of it. Oh, I doubt it, boss. We never really got any airplay. Spit it out, old man. Alright, boss, if you insist. The band was called Messerkampf. Spelled out just like it sounds in big capital letters with an exclamation point. We weren't a big act or anything. We sold a few records here and there, toured around Europe. We had a decent following in England, and we holed up in London from 31 to 36. Spent most of our time slumming it around the East End, and picked up enough Cockney to irritate the folks back home. He shakes his head. Truth be told, that whole chapter of my life is a bit of a blur. We didn't do it for the fans or the fame, and we sure as shit didn't care about money. All that mattered to us was staying young, drunk, and angry. He takes a moment to examine his gnarled hands, a sad smile on his face. We managed the second two. Good God, where has the time gone? Dietrich shakes himself from his reverie and looks back up at you. That familiar, easy grin returns to his face. Well, anyway, boss, everything ends eventually, and I washed my hands of all of this years ago. So let's change the subject, if you don't mind. Wait a second, you can sing? He regards you with a critical eye. I was the front man for a punk band, boss. Fuck no, I can't sing. But I wasn't half bad at riling up a crowd. How did you go from fronting a band to running the Shadows? Wasn't as big a leap as you think. I already had a healthy disrespect for authority, and I had the magic to back it up. One thing about shamanism, as long as you keep your idol happy, it doesn't matter what else you do. The Dragon Slayer chose me to be his servant, and as long as I was scrapping with someone bigger than me, he didn't care whether I did it on stage or in the shadows. Tell me about the Dragon Slayer. He shrugs. Not much to tell. He chose me when I was just a kid. I could always feel him in my heart, goading me to laugh louder, hit harder, and get rowdier than the rest. I fucking like the Dragon Slayer. Of course, my family didn't understand, but the hell with him, I thought. I knew that I was destined for greater things. So I listened to him, and I cracked the skulls of a lot of bad people. He saw this, and was pleased, and rewarded me with magic. And I used that magic to crack bigger, thicker skulls, and so on. He shrugs. It's a simple life, but a good one. Cool. A Dietrich backstory. Alright, let's, we have a bunch of shit that we can probably sell, right? Mission computer. Your workstation and mission computer. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I have 0 unread messages. Wait. Oh. Claim payment for sold pay data. Ugh, that sucks. Post pay data for sale. I don't have anything. Where to find elves? If there are any elf clubs or bars in the downtown area, I really want to meet one. They're just so beautiful. Maybe we can go dancing. Do elves like dancing? There's one in Torstrauss. Because I know the B thing is like an S, because they're Grossman. Because I used to be in a Slenderman. Bring a bouquet of roses. Elves loves romantic. The elf clubs I know of are members only due to creepy groupies, like you. Not really appealing when a guy is only after them for the shape of their ears. Client screwed me. Benno is a fraud. I broke my first rule. Always get full payment up front. Left me hanging for 50% of the cash after I completed the job. I'm sure he'll have changed his name by the time this posting goes up. Male elf, brown hair, gold eyes. Look to be in his mid-30s. Be careful who you work for out there. Never thought I'd see you admit to a mistake on here. Thanks for the heads up. I'll keep my eyes open. We'll forward any info I come across if you're still looking to collect from this guy. Pro shot. Send you some surveillance footage. Is this your man? Sure is. Nice one. I'll split the take with you if this lead pans out. Good to find there's some honor among runners. Okay. Read my old messages. No. Jobs directory. Let's see if there's any pending. Nope. Okay. Cool. Is there anything in here? No. Okay, let's talk to Ager. I think it's about time. Hey. Ager turns to face you. There's a pained look on her face. Look, I owe you an apology. Oh, is that so? Yeah, it is. When Monica died, I was pissed. That probably doesn't come as a huge surprise. But I took that anger out on you, and I shouldn't have. Seeing Winter's body like that was enough to convince me. You couldn't have done anything to help Monica, and I couldn't have either. We're dealing with something new. Monica was a good friend of mine. Her death hurt. I got carried away, and I said some things that I shouldn't have. I wanted to apologize for that. Her body relaxes. She begins to turn away. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. There are a few things I want to say. She stops, then turns back to face you. You can see the wariness behind her eyes. Go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. She raises her hand to stop you. The expression on her face has gone from cautious to annoyed. Cut the bullshit, fearless leader. I don't respond well to flattery. I wasn't trying to flatter you, Ager. I only want to tell you how wonderful and valuable I am. Yeah, I got that part. And now that you've given me a pat on the head, I suppose you expect me to fall in line like a good little soldier. You know, there's nothing easier or more hollow than an empty compliment. It's cheap manipulation, and I can always see right through it. Fuck you, Ager. I don't like you. I was fucking being nice. Meowlissa, what do you need? Can I ask her yet? Okay. Glory is not keen on sharing. Okay, let's talk to Paul, and then I'm gonna take a break for this session. Amsel's expression is harder than you've seen it before. When he speaks, his voice is grim. Ager told me of Green Winter's death. She said that he died in the same manner that Monica did. It wasn't a pretty sight. God, I'm so burpy. Ugh. Absol nods gravely. I know that you and Ager have had your differences. I will tell you that she was badly shaken by the sight of Winter's body. She also mentioned that you found something in Winter's safe. A package full of very old discs. May I see them? Of course. Good God. Gingerly, Amsel lifts a disc from the bundle and holds it up to the light. Slowly, he begins to turn it in his hand, causing rainbow patterns to shimmer across its surface. I haven't seen one of these since I was a boy. It's a DVD RW, data storage medium from the mid-2000s. I'm amazed that Winters was able to find a device that could play it. Do you know how we can read these things? He puts down the DVD in his hands and quickly inspects the others. The first disc that it looked at might be readable. The others are damaged, some severely so. I have my doubts about them. For now, let's concentrate on the undamaged disc. There's a little shop outside the data haven. Talk to the proprietor, Melit Holier. She might be able to help. Tell her to put the cost of the device on my account. I'm on it. Okay. That should be enough for me right about now. That was a long session.